Great is He in me.
When I wake in the morning, I'm glad to see that your love for me still remains. Oh, how I long for the salvation, yeah, and your love is my delight. On my knees I pray, yeah, keep me in your way, and I will not be moved. In your love stay, your peace, your joy, your word I search for more. I need your strength to guide me through. For I know
every day's a new gift from Elohim. If I endure, He shall redeem. The test and trials they come and strengthen me. Great is He in me. Great is He in me. Every day's a new gift from Elohim. If I endure, He shall redeem. The test and trials they come and strengthen me. Great is He in me. Great is He in me.
there's no other beside you, great Elohim, and the joy you give is my strength. Now I can walk higher, with your love I'm stronger, as I walk by faith. Gave us your son as grace. Daily we seek your face. By you our steps are ordered. Keep me, guide me, I search for you completely. And all of this I yearn for you. Father, yeah.
Every day's a new gift. If I endure, He shall redeem. The test and trials they come and strengthen me. Great is He in me. Great is He in me. Every day's a new gift from Elohim. If I endure, He shall redeem. The test and trials they come and strengthen me. Great is He in me. Great is He in me.
Great God is He in me. Great God is He. Great God is He. Great God is He. Great God is He. Great His words a lamp unto my feet. 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 His words a lamp unto my
You are so wonderful, and you are so marvelous. I just want to thank you for all you've done for me. Your love is incredible, and your grace, magnificent. Words cannot express the splendor of your majesty. Praise God, praise Him in the morning. Come on, praise Him in the noonday too. Let everything that happens praise God. And sometimes there'll be trials that will come your way, and the darkness encompasses you. You can't tell your night from day, but God, He's faithful, and His word is so true, so true, so true, that in your darkest hour, it is Yah that pulls you through. Praise God. Come on and praise Him. Praise Him in the noonday too. Praise God. Let everything that happens praise God. Praise God. Oh, praise Him in the morning. Come on, praise Him in the noonday too. Oh, let everything that happens praise
Welcome, y'all. Shalom, family. I'm so glad you are all here. This has just been, it seems like since the shooting took place, everything has kind of been a little off. At least that's the way I'm feeling. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I have to tell you, 2018 has started out so strange. And and just like the Most High say, signs and wonders, and that eclipse, that lunar eclipse that we had, where we had the new moon, the blood moon, and the lunar eclipse. Thank you so much, lovely queen. All at the same time. There's no doubt about it. Things are definitely changing, and they're changing fast. Absolutely. Well, I got something funny to tell y'all. You know, I did that Black Elvis video. Well, somebody at YouTube took my voice completely out of the video. So if you go to my Black Elvis video now, the whole thing is all music. The parts where I'm talking is gone. And I know somebody at YouTube did this. Somebody at YouTube did this. This was not somebody that got into my account and hacked it. This is somebody that works with YouTube did this to me. So I just think it's hilarious. That just goes to show you Neander fragility is real. It's definitely real. Yeah, they are. They're, Jada T, they're trying their best to shut the Black YouTubers up, and they know things are changing too, but they don't want us to talk about it. Hey, Craig J, they don't want us talking about certain things. They want us to shut up and just go along with whatever white supremacist agenda they have set, and it's just not flying. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Here I am, a channel. I got maybe over 10,000 subscribers. How can I be that much of a threat? But I guess I really am. Thank you so much, Video File 99. I guess I must be that much of a threat to them. For them to mess with a video, I must be a real threat. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I know the True Royal family got hit. One of her videos, I was watching that last night. And I know I did not put that many videos out. I did the Fergie video, and I just put out 2 videos that particular day because I kind of had a sore throat. So I just wanted to lay back and take it easy. And I'm feeling a lot better, no sore throat. I'm feeling back to being myself again. So the hell with, yeah, that's how I feel, Lord Mall 3. The hell with YouTube. Yeah, I saw that, Kathy. I did see that the True Royal put her video out saying she got flagged. Yeah, they just keep anytime I raise any truth about, this white supremacist society, those videos always get demonetized now. Not that it upsets me that much. Well, if I'm awakening even one person, then I'm happy, Video File 99. I really am. No, but you know how it is. They feel all sensitive, but we're not supposed to feel anything when they whitewash our history, right? We're not supposed to feel nothing, but when they get a dose of their own medicine, they can't handle it. So that's the way it is. Yeah, I don't even think about Tommy unless somebody brings him up. Other than that, I don't even think about him. I don't watch his videos. I don't go to his channel. I just don't have any affiliation with him at all. Only way I hear about Tommy if somebody every now and then makes a video about him. I don't even make videos about him. He's not that important to me. Lisa is black. Okay, I hope that clears up the speculation. Lisa is black. Okay, and anybody that got a speculation, if you don't know what I am by now, then the problem is you. I am black. I had a black mother and a black father. So that can only make me one thing, black. Well, I don't know, but that's their problem. That's their problem. And I don't get and I did a video today, and many of you did watch it, on how it's, the jail population for black people is decreasing and increasing for white people. And I had one of my subscribers get trolled. So I had to go out there and block and remove the person's comments. And, those things happen. Just have to stay on top of it. And just remember, if you are a moderator, you can get rid of comments and block people. You do have the ability to do those things. You know, I had somebody come out and try to do a gender war in the comment section, and I had to boot that person out. I don't know why they keep trying to bring that to my channel when I have said repeatedly, I don't want any gender wars over here. It's a waste of time and nobody benefits from that stuff. Yeah, there is a way you can do it, Kathy, and maybe, I can go over that. Yeah, but you know what, Sonny? There's a lot of woolly haired people that got my last name. Okay, I could see if nobody had that name. There's a lot of dark skinned, woolly haired people with my name. I got relatives as dark as Sammy Sosa. They have that name, and they got woolly hair and they're dark. It's not like I don't have, nobody is a white Hispanic over here. No, nobody is. It's people all over the islands with my name. It's not as unusual as you think. When you go to the islands, it's common. Yeah, woolly hair. I mean, I got relatives. Some of them are as dark as Sammy Sosa when he used to be dark. Yeah, right, Craig J. Yeah. I mean, shoot, they are dark skinned and walking around with afros. Yeah, I don't know what he is now. Sammy Sosa is scary looking these days. Yeah, old dark skinned Sammy. Yeah. I can't even bear to look at his bleached out self anymore. He is the poster child for self hate. I have never seen a man that adamant about hating his own complexion. It's really a terrible thing to see Sammy Sosa. I can barely look at him now that he's all bleached out. I tell you, if there weren't old pictures of him, I bet you he would even deny he had dark skin, but he just can't cover that up because his 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 other pictures are still out there with him with the melanated skin. Yeah, Helen Short, you're right. That is a serious tragic Negro. Definitely that. That's a damn shame when you don't even like your own melanin. I just can't imagine walking out around through my life and not liking my melanated skin. It's just it is a curse, Mike Berry. You know why? Because all of those black people that have bleached their melanin, they're burning in the sun just like white people now. Go look at some of the pictures of their damaged skin, especially the Jamaican women, because you know they live in all that hot sun. Go look at their pictures and look at how badly damaged, sun damaged their skin is now from bleaching it and living some hot place like Jamaica. They really jacked themselves up. It's a shame. It's really a shame how badly damaged their skin is. So it's almost it is like when they bleached out their melanin, the Most High gave them the same curse of burning in the sun as the cave fools. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to call Sammy. So I don't know. Frankenberry. Yeah, a lot of people say he looks like Frankenberry now. Yeah, I mean that's real tragic. Hmm. And Sammy Sosa was not a bad looking man with his dark skin, you know? I don't know what like I said, he must have really I don't know, maybe he came from one of those families that made him feel self-conscious about his dark skin. I mean, I know those things do happen. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, Michael Jackson did walk around with an umbrella. And I don't care what no one say, melanated Michael Jackson was fine. Okay. He was good looking when he had his melanin. But bleached out Michael, not so fine. But you know, yeah, yeah, exactly. I love, you know, I love the way some of the men look with, you know, Sammy Sosa's former complexion, you know, that chocolate brown, that dark chocolate brown. He looked good. But I don't know. Like I said, he looks like a monstrosity now. Oh, they got you, True Royal. I saw your video. I did see your video. All right, hold on. Let me try something here. True Royal, Queen, click on the link and come on with me. Come on. Click on the Hangout link. Okay, I put it in. Okay, you want me to email it? Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do that right now. All right, I just sent it. Check your email.
Hello.
Hi. Hey,
How you doing, Queen?
how you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, girl. Tell me what happened.
Well, I had did this video about that shooter in Florida,
Right.
and somebody flagged it and said I was bullying and harassing. And I said,
What the
"How is that
hell?
bullying and harassing?"
What the hell? I didn't hear no bullying and harassing in no video.
So I appealed it twice because I
Uh-huh.
wanted them to explain it to me. And all they could say I was in direct violation. So I'm on lockdown for 3 months as far as doing live streams.
Right.
But I can do live streams on my backup channel. That ain't gonna stop me. But if you want to see the video, it's on Black Junction. I still put it up.
Right. Oh my God, these people are. Oh man.
Fragile. They're fragile.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you condone the shooting. And I was just pointing out the families. I was pointing out how this family that took this boy in, how fake they was. You can see it. They claim they don't know nothing and all of this, but this is a good example of. And you I don't know the words you said verbatim, but it was like how fragile the beast is.
Oh yeah, Neander fragility.
Yes. And that further lets me know the power of the royal family.
Exactly.
That my words have that kind of power. They don't know I'm gonna go harder. I'm going to go harder. So it is what it is. I've been down this road many, many times. And I'm gonna keep rolling. But this is what I wanted to tell y'all. Before I got that, where they flagged me, somebody sent me a message and said, I am white. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so they said, I am white. And people do not know, after I've been through the journey I've been through, I heavily monitor my channel. And every single person that joins my channel, I go check out their channel. Some of them I catch, sometimes you can't catch them all. And the forensic company that I did deal with, Digital Court Forensic Company, if y'all can check that out, I kept them on. So I wanted to investigate that person who flagged me. I wanted to investigate. I take it that far. I'm an extremist. I got what you call relentless drive in me. Don't fuck with me, because we're gonna have to start acting like this. We're gonna have to take it. We cannot hope anymore that they're not gonna bother us. We're gonna have to start praying that they bother us so we can render down something on their ass. Because they are saying that these kids that's coming up, they say they mean. That's why I listen to the Royals too. And I don't blame them. Forget about getting alone and going alone and stuff. If you come in my zone or my husband's zone, you will get that work.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We have our own channels out here. We don't go and troll them. You know, they're not even that damn interesting enough to troll.
I know. I don't go to their channels. And I'm so dyslexic. I have 3 channels, and I can't even remember the passwords to them. I'm gonna find this out later on. That if I troll you, I'm gonna troll you on the True Royal Family. It ain't a fake channel. I'm gonna troll you openly. But I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that type of stuff. So it's irrelevant. So it is what it is. We have to keep further pushing, and this further let us know we're going to have to support Black Spot and Black Junction and get off of this shit.
Exactly. So, but I didn't get to see your last video. You did that was on Ray Caruth.
Oh,
okay. What is he getting out of jail soon?
He's going to be getting out in October.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
And see, he has ties up here in the Bay Area. He has a son up here in Sacramento. That's like an hour from me. And that's why I always kept a close eye on that case. And I watched the whole trial and everything. And he didn't want to have nothing to do with that child. And his mother acted so, it was embarrassing how his mother acted in court. It was embarrassing. And stuff. And so now he ain't gonna get nothing. He just talking.
No, you killed the mother of your child, and you think they're not gonna give that man no custody.
It's a damn shame.
Because, you know, and in fact, that is even here in New Jersey. If a woman kills her husband, and let's say they had kids, those kids get taken away from her.
Yeah, she crazy.
You know? So I don't know where he's going to go in this country and get custody of his son. And plus, he's been in jail for all these years. What real parental skills does he have?
He don't have any. The child is 18 years old. The child is 18 years old. And you can tell that he has a lot of physical abilities. That's a lot. That's around the clock work dealing with him.
Right. Shit, I don't even trust him around women. I'm serious. For you know, not just a child, but even him being with another woman, I would have my serious doubts about him harming.
Because see, when all that stuff went down, remember he hid in the trunk of the car and he was trying to get back to California and they found his ass in the trunk.
Yeah.
He trying to get to California.
Woo.
So, yeah. So now, and then somebody did mention on my channel that he's trying to be sympathetic, get a sympathetic ear to the parole and all of that. They hear all that stuff. I done found God in my life. They hear all of that. This ain't nothing new. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. So
like
I'm
17 years. Yeah. First of all, 17 years in jail. You don't have no real home for even yourself at this point.
Well, you know what? I'm going to point something out. I watched that trial so close 17 years ago. That's how well I remember it. That when he was going to court, they had depleted his funds. And I found out that I know for sure in that state, what's that, North Carolina, that they can't leave a human being destitute. So the state of North Carolina picked up his attorney fees, but his attorney had to take the fees on whatever baseline that they set it at. Because they had sold the house, sold this, sold that, and all of that type of stuff like that. And so that dude don't have no money. He, like I said, because you know I keep it core. This dude's problem was he had reckless sex. He didn't care who he had sex with, because even when all this stuff was going down with him, and that girl was in the hospital, he was bringing in women, still sexing them down, doing whatever. He didn't care.
Right.
He didn't care. And this should be a good example to these guys. All sex ain't good sex. I talked to my oldest son and my youngest son about this very blatantly. You will get yourself caught up in something. And that should be a good example. That's why I put those kind of stories out to give a reminder. You can get caught up like this. You know,
and I agree with what some of the people are saying in the chat. You know, he is narcissist. You would think after what he's done, he would be humble enough to just shut the hell up and just go off and quietly live his life.
True.
You can already see he intends on being a damn problem to that grandmother. You know?
And yeah, and even in the letter, he's going to basically say in the letter, basically to the mother, oh, it was just nothing but, you know, a little hookup. Well, you would think you would change your words. And then he's going to say to her,
that was her daughter. That's her daughter that we're talking about.
And then he's going to say, and you ain't going to live that long anyway. I'm like, wow. You don't know who's going to outlive you in this world.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, well, you don't know that.
My grandmother told me that the doctor said to her she was going to die at a certain point. She ended up making it until 95 years old, and the doctor that told her that died before her.
See, don't know. Just don't know. So yeah, that's what's going on with him and stuff. But anyway, I'm okay. I'm just gonna be down on that channel as far as the live streams are concerned, and I'll just go back to my other backup channels, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and make that big push anyway, because I see Taryn Rain is doing a good job at it and really focusing on our own platforms too as well.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because eventually all of us are going to get flagged. They're going to continue to always mess with us. And they need to and I feel like they need to mess with us in order to get us off of that, because I watch videos on both of the channels and I like the energy. I feel free. I don't feel constricted. Because I don't know how to be constricted. I don't understand that. I just speak freely. I don't, that's just how we speak. So anyway, Queen, thank you. I'm gonna get back in here. I love this listening and talking to people because I'm always running my mouth.
You're fine. You're fine.
All right, Queen. Thank you very much. All right,
y'all. Somebody put something in here. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, you were talking about Ray Caruth's son looks just like him. He really does. He really does. Can you imagine? He would have probably turned out just fine if he didn't kill the mother. That child, his son would probably be just fine right now. He probably wouldn't even have any disabilities. He actually caused his son's disabilities. He caused the whole thing. I just think he's pretty insane to believe that he could be a good parent to this 18-year-old who didn't even get to know his mother because of him. Like I said, the man needs to just learn how to be humble and go away. Fuck. That's right, Black Reality TV. Ooh, man. That's a damn shame. Okay. There was something else on here that I saw. Hold on 1 second, y'all. There's something else on here that I saw. Where is it? Oh, okay. I know what else I wanted to tell y'all. Well, I'm going to be doing a video that's going to come out tomorrow. Y'all don't realize this, but the measles is spreading across Europe. So that's another plague that's hitting them. the measles is, can you believe something like the measles making a comeback? It's actually spreading across Europe. And it's hitting in like several different European countries. And that's one disease I never thought was going to make a comeback, but the measles is hitting Europe. Yep, the measles of all things. No, the flu is still going strong in the US. In fact, there's a story that just came out here in New Jersey. A child, a 6-year-old, just died from the flu here in my home state. So, it's still going strong. But yeah, the measles, that's another plague that's spreading across Europe. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Sharon, he is putting that work in. The Most High is putting that work. He is putting a hurting on these fools. Well, yeah, if you remember, that was the Mr. C. That was the same way it was in the book of the Exodus. Remember, all those plagues were coming down on those Egyptians. And it looked like it's happening, it's unfolding the same exact way for Esau and his children. Happening the same way. Yeah, Kathy, a lot of these diseases came about from them sleeping with animals. That's where a lot of it came about, especially the venereal diseases. They all came from them sleeping with animals. Yeah, he really is, Kathy. We may not notice it as much, but he really is. I mean, they are still battling the flu over there in Europe on top of the measles now. Yeah, they did a lot of evil to us. We can't forget about the Tuskegee experiments and many things that they intentionally gave our people, and they died. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Plagues and pestilence. Yeah, I think hold on. I think France have a mice outbreak. Hold on, let me go France mice. Yeah, France right now got a mice outbreak. There's a bunch of mice running all over Paris. Yeah. This happens to France, I would say, like every so many years. I just think it's just one of them real dirty, filthy places. But France always get hit with an outbreak of mice. And let me tell you, it gets even worse. What they do when they have these mice outbreaks, the restaurants start serving mice as part of their dinner over there in France. They said, well, if you can't beat them, eat them. So what the restaurants do is they add mice onto their menus and they serve the mice. That's how they get rid of them now. It's disgusting. I wish I would walk in some restaurant and you serve me some rat, but that's what they do now. They catch them and eat them. But the French are nasty people anyway. I don't know why anybody would be surprised about that. Yeah, well, you can spare me the delicacy. I don't look at no rat as a delicacy. Yeah, yeah, they do. They eat the snails. You're right about that, Sonny. They do. They sure do eat them snails. Oh yeah. Queen, I know who I am. Did you ever see that video online of it was an Asian restaurant and I believe it was in New York. And as people were ordering food, the cook was reaching inside of the box and pulling out a mouse or a rat or whatever the New York had pulled it and chopped it up and made the food. And he was doing this every day. And somebody happened to catch it on video camera. He had a big box of rats right next to the stove. And as the orders would come in, he would just reach into the box, pull a rat out, cut it all up, and then mix in the vegetables and everything. and that's how this Chinese restaurant got busted. But yeah, he had a big box of rats that he would collect every single day, and he was serving that to the public right there in New York. Well, Asians will eat anything. They don't care. They'll eat anything. They'll even eat, you heard of baby soup, right? They'll eat baby soup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, rodent over rice. Woo, this is why the Most High got to get these heathens off the earth, y'all. Y'all, it don't matter which one it is. They're all crazy. Yeah, yeah, this really happened. It happened in, I believe it was New York. And someone said they had suspected something shady was going on because they said the chicken didn't exactly taste like chicken. So somebody finally got their camera phone out and, as this man reached into the box of rodents, they watch him. He skinned it. He cut it into parts. He threw the vegetable and stir fried it. And people were eating rats every day and didn't even know it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they ate all that stuff. That's why for them, they shrug when they think it's nothing wrong with eating a dog or a cat. Because see, when they were back in them caves, that's what they ate. They ate dogs and cats and anything else they could get their hands on. That's the stuff they ate. That's why to them, it's normal. Yeah. Yeah, because you don't know what's in their crap. That's the thing. You get that Asian food, you seriously don't know what's in that shit. No, you're fine, Ayapo. You're fine. Yeah, yeah, Lord Maul 3, they will eat anything. That's the sick part about them. They will, they'll chow down on anything. And they're in Jamaica now, damn near taking Jamaica over. And the Jamaicans say they treat them like crap. Those Chinese people are in Jamaica treating them like crap. But see, what a lot of people don't realize is this is not their first time in Jamaica. They tried to take over Jamaica years ago, and those Jamaican people literally ran them off of the island. So them being in Jamaica now is actually their second attempt in Jamaica. This is the second time. Those Jamaican people got sick of them the first time and ran them Chinese people the hell out of there. But their leadership pretty much sold them out on them islands. They got sold out by their leaders. Their politicians there in Jamaica. That's who sold them out. And it's disgusting what they're doing there. I was watching a video where the Chinese people in Jamaica, what they do is when they get finished cooking, they throw the animal carcasses out in the back of the building. And you just see all these skeletal remains of all these different animals, behind the restaurants in Jamaica. But see, they are filthy like that. To them, that's nothing. Oh, yeah, they'll eat anything. Emerald Princess, anytime they eat baby soup, that should tell you right there, they'll eat any damn thing. They don't care. Guyana, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're really trying their best to take over. They really are. Well, I know I was watching one video and the Jamaicans were saying they don't even like working for the Chinese because the Chinese people try not to pay them. Like they'll do work and they got to wait a long time before the Chinese will even pay them for their work, whatever labor they put out. So they said it's not even good to work for them. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can even see pictures of it. You can Google it and look at pictures of baby soup. It is disgusting. It's an aborted fetus. So they take their aborted fetus and they eat them. Baby soup. Only a sick person would do some shit like that. Cat shit coffee. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't go in any of those stores. Now, around me, there are some Arab and Korean stores, and I don't go in those stores. I do not shop in their stores at all. I do not go in there. Now, some of the other people around me, they go in there. I will not shop at an Arab store. I will not shop in a Korean store. I don't care. I don't care what they're selling. I do not shop in those places. Well, yeah, the handy with fan with, they're doing the same thing in Africa. They're shipping all those crops back to China. They know the warm places that got the best soil are where the black people live on the planet. They know that is better than the soil in China or anywhere else. And they said the richest soil on earth is in Africa, and it's the purest soil too. No Habibi liquor store. Yeah, yeah. There's quite a few around here that got the liquor stores. But like I said, I don't go in there and shop from them because they got too much of an attitude problem. See, if I walk in your store and you show some attitude, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And I just never liked the way the Arab and the Koreans treated our people in those stores. I saw it early on. And now you couldn't pay me to walk in their stores. I don't care what they're selling. They eat blood pudding. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, Tara, I would not be surprised. I mean, I have seen them eat virtually anything. Yeah, a lot of these foreigners come from places where, wearing deodorant is just not it's just not big on their list. And you can kind of tell, especially them East Indians, they really be smelling bad. Yeah, yeah. I don't go near those stores only because, like I said, I have seen the way they have treated black people in those stores. They will treat our people like dirt. That's why I don't go in there. Bad enough we get treated like that by white people. Now these foreigners are going to come and do that mess? Nah. Mm-mm. Yeah, the U.S. is still in sixth place. Emerald Prince. Woo, don't get me started on the Olympics. Yes, the U.S. is still in sixth place. They haven't moved. They're still doing very poorly in the Olympics, but see, you can't have a whole bunch of high IQ people on the same team. It just doesn't work. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? The you want to hear something? Them East Indians over the summer, you can see the sweat stains on their shirts. That's why I was like, ew, that is just I'm sorry. I don't think those men are attractive anyway, but I'm just saying, just seeing them walking around with them big sweat stains. Uh. Yeah, Norway, the last time I looked, Norway had 29 medals. And I think the US had 10, maybe 12. They didn't go up by much. Yeah, yeah. Sherry 65. I don't like the way those stores smell either. The few times I've been in there, I don't even look at those men. I find them and those Asian men to be some of the ugliest men on the planet. East Indians and Asian. Woo. Mm-mm. I had to laugh one day when some Asian guy was like, "Oh no, we can't bring black woman home." I was like, "You ain't got to worry about bringing black woman home. Black women don't want to come with you. Don't worry about it. Who the hell want them old squinty-eyed looking fools? Are you crazy? I wouldn't." Ugh. That's why I don't understand why the African women are even laying around with them Asian men. Ugh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, they like to cook with those heavy spices, those East Indians. There used to be an East Indian restaurant not far from where I live, but I don't go there. I never went in there. They love curry. That's the spice they love. They love a lot of curry. They love curry. Yeah, I don't find them attractive either. Ugh. I just don't. I think them, the East Indian and the Asian men, by far the ugliest men I believe on the entire planet. They are really ugly. Yeah. Yeah, the curry. Yeah, you can smell it on them. That is very true. You can smell that curry on them. They eat so much of it. It does. It comes through the pores of their skin and you can smell them. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And in India, they got the monkeys that run all over the damn place talking about some because the those East Indians have all kinds of gods, cows and monkeys, and every damn thing's a god. You know what it is? You know what I think it is, dark void about Asian men? They look, first of all, especially the ones that are real small and not real big in stature. To me, they're like a step away from looking like a woman. They really are. I mean, some of them, when I look at some of the younger ones, they're very feminine looking to me. I don't know, is it me or has anybody else noticed that? They just look very feminine to me. They don't look like very masculine looking men. They look very feminine. Yeah, they I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird when you look at them. They look kind of girly to me. I don't know. Well, with the Winter Olympics, they no longer let the professional athletes play in the Olympics now. The teams can't be professional athletes like it used to be years ago. And I think the US hockey team is supposed to be playing today. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm keeping up with it, but not that closely. I'm mainly just laughing at how they can't hardly get any medals. That's all I'm laughing at. Well, those Arab men be in those black neighborhoods flirting with the black women. That's a big thing they do there. 7th. Yes, I heard about that. Avaya, I heard about that. It was some middle school kid in the 7th grade that went into the bathroom with a gun and shot himself. And I believe that was earlier today that happened. But yeah, I did see that. I did see that earlier. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? It's just like those badass white kids. They always seem to be able to walk out the house with a gun and it goes completely unnoticed by the parents. It's so typical. Yes, I believe so. You know why? When they did the report on it, they didn't show the child at all. If it was a black kid, they would have showed it. They would have showed the child. They don't care. But yes, it was a white kid. You can tell by the way they've done the story. We know how they do news stories whenever it's a non-black person. And it's sick the way they're trying to drum up all this sympathy for that Nick Cruz. It is disgusting. I don't hardly feel sorry for him. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they do. They take them to the shooting range real young too. Well, I took another look at that Nick Cruz, his picture. He looked like he probably was a meth addict. I'm telling you, on the side of his face, looked like he's got one of those meth lesions on his face. He looked like he's got that on his face. I think he was a meth addict. Just from what I'm looking, just my observation, I think he was a meth addict. Yeah, I saw that. Some white girl gouged her own eyes out. These people are crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Anne. I mean, it is a crazy case. It's crazy, how everybody was trying to alert the police about him, and they just ignored everybody. They ignored everybody that tried to report him. First of all, if that was a black man, they would report, they would have been at their front door from the first phone call. First phone call, they would have showed up at the door. No, that's okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching the movie. I'm going to get around to seeing it too. But you can tell that he's shalom to you, brother, the Vanguard. Shalom to you. You know what? The thing is, you can tell, I agree with the True Royal family. You can tell he was problematic. You can tell. And the parents knew about how screwed up he was. They're now playing, they're just playing a little bit too hard at being naive. You can't be that clueless about someone in your house like that. I just don't believe that. I don't believe them. Yeah, everybody is talking about it, so I know it's a good movie. I know it is. And the thing is, our people can act anyway. So our people are the best actors anyway. Good evening, Bella the lady. And no, apparently people took him and his brother. He has a brother. And they took him in after his mother died. That's where Cruz came in and adopted him, but he wasn't, by himself. He did, from what I understand, had a brother. Yeah, he was clearly not all there. There's no way you're talking to somebody like that in your house and you didn't know what they were like. Yeah, I heard that too. The Killmonger. Yeah, I heard that too. That that's what I said, Leslie Williams. I said he must be stupid as hell to be 19 and still going to public school. And someone said he was held back twice, Nick Cruz. So you can tell that he wasn't wrapped too tight. Not the brightest tool in the shed. Yeah, I don't know. They still didn't fully explain where all those weapons he had came from. Because from what they're saying, he had more than one weapon with him, and he had several magazine clips. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're trying to humanize him on TV. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put him in front of a little scrawny looking, frail looking white dude, just like Dylan Roof. He's real small and frail looking, just like ugly Dylan Roof. You look at them, they have no life in their face, already dead. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to their gun control crap. I've been kind of ignoring that for the simple fact that the Black community has been complaining about guns for the longest, and they have always ignored our pleas to do something about the guns. We always got ignored. But as soon as they get killed, now we're supposed to join them in their pain. No, 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 no. I'm not joining them in their pain. And Letty Pat, come on now, don't insult lemurs. Don't insult lemurs. Well, his lawyer is sick. How do you kill that many people and then you want to hug somebody? Get out of here. Like I said, they're trying to just humanize him, trying to soften the blow. Oh, he was so troubled. Oh, he did something really bad. He's regretting it now. Get out of here. Who cares about your regret after you'd have mowed down 17 people? I mean, who cares? Yeah, I'm telling you, he looks just as dead in the face as Dylan Roof when I look at him. Yeah, but I saw some in the crowd, which made me sick. They did some kind of protest in front of the White House, and they were laying all over the ground. And of course, some Black people had to get in the crowd and lay on the ground with them. Our people will never learn. These folks don't join us in our pain, they laugh at our pain. That's why, I'm not getting out there and protesting about guns, not with them. No, I don't know. It's hard to say. Trump is just such a monstrosity. I don't know if he's going to get a second term or not. Yeah, yeah, but like I said, one thing I notice about many of these white supremacists, they'll go on all these rants against us, but then when it comes time to kill people, they mow their own people down. No, we should not be protesting with them. If we got issues with guns, then we need to just deal with that as a community, but not join them in their protests. No. They have never been there for us at all. Never. It's been too many centuries of proof of them not standing with us. But they really, really, really don't want us talking about white males with guns. Oh my God, you should have seen some of my held comments. They really don't want us talk. They want to keep the black on black crime narrative going. They don't want us focusing on white males with guns, man. They don't want us talking about it. That is touchy. That's a touchy subject for them. Well, when the time comes, the Most High got everything planned out for us. When we do rise, we will rise together. Minus the coons, of course. There's nothing that's going to motivate them. Yeah, it made me sick seeing our people out there protesting with them. It just made me sick. Because you know damn well they would never do the same if it was 17 black children that were killed. They would never, ever, ever be out there with us. We would pretty much be on our own. Yeah, actually 124,000 views when that story broke. And like I said, just notice every time there's any mass shooting, they make a beeline to the black YouTube channels and just spew out all the usual low IQ black on black crime Chicago, because we know they're like a broken record. They have absolutely nothing else to say to black people other than that. That's why I do not join them in any conversation or dialogue, because you just gonna get the same broken ass record narratives. You're never gonna get anything different from these people that are incapable of thinking beyond a certain point. Well, if our kids were mowed down, they would be online joking and laughing about it. I mean, we already have evidence of them doing that when Trayvon was killed, when Mike Brown was killed. They literally came online and made mockery of their deaths. That's what they would have done if 17 of our people got killed. Or they would have been cheering, just like they did when Dylan Roof killed those people in South Carolina. They were online laughing and cheering about the 9 people that were killed. That's what they would have done. They would not have offered any sympathy or really went out there and stood by us. They wouldn't have done it. And they don't have no history of doing that either. They have no history of standing by us. Well, they have nothing else, and it's largely the media, LaShawn. It's largely the media's fault, because that's the narrative they have been pushing in this country for a long time, a long time. So they're just repeating everything that they heard on TV. You're not going to come across one that say, I've been to Chicago and it's really not like that. No, no. They're going to all sing the same song. Chicago, black on black crime, nothing new, nothing that we haven't heard. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They never stop killing us. They never do. They will never stop killing us. You know, unfortunately, they're going to be doing this into the bitter end. Remember, the Most High said when he comes after them, the blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle. And that's exactly where it deserves to be. He said their blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle. And first of all, in order for them to be sorry, they have to, as a group, repent. And we know there ain't no sign of them ever repenting. It ain't coming. That's really the first step. And to make good on all the damage that they've done to us as a people. And we know they don't have that in them either. So they're going to have to be punished. Yeah, yeah, I do too, Ayapo. I stay clear away from them. And you notice they always come to the Black channels. We do not seek these people out. We don't seek them out at all. They seek us out. They seek us out. And that is just all that paranoia because they know all the rotten shit they've done to us. And they're like, well, when are they going to fight us back? When are they going to retaliate? When are they going to do this? Yeah, yeah. But we don't seek them out. We never seek them out. I don't, all the ones that come to my channel, I don't even go to their channel. I do. I go to their channel to block them. That's the only form of entertainment I do on their channels. I seriously do not seek these trolls out at all. I do not. I don't look for them. They come looking for us. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter if we don't think about them. They are really raised in condition to believe that they got to watch us. That when you see people doing the same exact thing, that's because they were raised to believe they have to watch us and watch what we do and all, that's all taught behavior. And they really believe they got the right to watch what we're doing. They really seriously believe this. I don't know, Craig J. I don't know. I think Jesse Lee Peterson looks like a wet turd. You think he looks like a bed bug. I think he looks like a wet turd. He looks more like a roach. Kathy, he got a white woman. Now you can't be shocked over that. He's got a white woman. But Jesse Lee is saying all that stuff just to get, ratings. And he knows that his white audience like all that bullshit he be talking. But the bottom line is when he got kicked out of that gym, what came out of his mouth? Is it because I'm Black? So that tells me he's aware of racism. That sure came to mind when he got kicked out of that gym. So he can't be that clueless about racism. But he's got to act like that. He's trying to earn a paycheck. And remember, he's a minister. And we know how shifty ministers are in America. Yeah, well, you know, Jesse Lee also had he got a 19-year-old son out of wedlock. But Jesse Lee was talking about single mothers, black single mothers. But as soon as somebody brought up the fact that Jesse Lee had a 19-year-old son out of wedlock, he hung up and left the interview. But see, that's the hypocrisy I'm talking about. And this man is a minister. Okay, he's a minister and he had a son out of wedlock. I can't believe a woman laid down with Jesse Lee. Yeah, he's got a 19-year-old son. And he didn't marry the mother. He never married the mom. So, but he's always talking about black single mothers. Black single mother. You know, there's a problem in the black community. No father in the house. Well, you weren't no father in the house for your son. But we're used to them being hypocrites. Yeah, I heard about Tommy also being a deadbeat dad. What, he got about 9 kids or something? I know that he's got a lot of kids by a bunch of different women. So how do you get on your platform talking about single moms? Okay, you got kids and you left all the mothers. Get out of here, man. I don't want to hear from you. Yeah, coons are, you're right, Lord Maul 3. That is a pattern. You notice coons all are deadbeat dads. I noticed that too. Damn near all the coons are deadbeat dads. That is a question we're going to have to raise. That's something to get their feathers ruffled. How come all these coons are deadbeat dads? Yeah, fatherless America, and they added to all of the single mother homes themselves. They on a platform talking about single moms. Woo, the nerve, the nerve. Yeah, you know, they're all like that. Oh, Juan Williams too. I didn't know he was a deadbeat dad. See, coons are deadbeat dads. See, now that's something to get on a platform about, y'all. Coons are deadbeat dads. Wow, I didn't know it was so many myself. Yeah, but you know, how do you talk about fatherless America and your ass ain't even with your baby mamas? Okay. I don't want to hear from you. Seriously. It is, Kathy. Kathy, seriously. You think about all of the coons that have gotten on the soapbox talking about single moms, and these coons are all deadbeat dads. Yeah, Steve Harvey. There you go, Hayapo. That's another coon that's a deadbeat dad. All that. Well, isn't there a video of him getting punched in the face or something like that? But I watched the video. I didn't see nothing. I just heard him yelling, but I didn't actually see him get punched. Yeah, well, see, there you go. Coons equals deadbeat. Coons equal deadbeat. All they know is sex. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know how, the coon, it's just sex with a black woman, but with a white woman, it's a serious relationship. Woo, don't send them back. We don't want them back. We don't want them back. No, no. And when you talk to most black women that are single mothers, that's not the way they wanted to end up. They really didn't. A lot of times they thought they were in a relationship with the father and thought he would stand by them. You ask any single black mother and they'll all tell you they did not want to be single moms. Virtually damn near all of them. The ones I talk to will tell you that things just didn't work out. And even around here where I live, a lot of these women are single moms, and the guys they were with, they ended up in prison. I know about two of them that live around me, and they were in relationships, and they didn't break up with these guys, but they ended up in jail. So now they're raising their children on their own. Yeah, and most don't. Most of them don't want to end up that way, but that's the way the circumstances are. Even on my mom's side, my grandfather was an alcoholic. So, you know, and he ended up in a nursing home at a young age because he just messed up his liver and he was all messed up. I mean, physically, he was all messed up. So, although my grandmother and grandfather never divorced, but she literally had to take care of the kids on her own. He wasn't there. He was not there. And that's not the way she intended it to be. She wanted her husband to be in the house, but he just couldn't be in the home. He wasn't there. I mean, they stayed married until the day he died, but physically, he was not there. Tragic mulatto. Yeah, you're right about Stacey Dash. I seriously don't know what happened to that chick. It is almost to her. Her black side ain't there at all. I don't know what the hell is up with her. Yeah, you have to wonder, and I always find that to be odd. Queen, I know who I am. I find that odd too, especially when that black man grew up in a home with a black mother, and a lot of times they had black sisters too, right there in the home, and they just totally reject black women. That's just very odd, very strange. And I find that weird about black women with white men too. How do you have a black father and black brothers, and you just completely walk past black men and you want this pasty ass white man? Get out of here. I just can't picture it. Well, see, I would never want to be with a white man because I know, you would be nothing but a fetish to him. And that's not what I want. That is no. That's all you would be. You would just be his fetish. It's disgusting. Yeah, I heard about that. Rhoda, that Beyonce's father, Matthew, was blaming his mother for colorism. But you know what? He may not be too off the mark because he's from the South. And I know firsthand, in the South, colorism is a big thing, you know, and I think they're even worse about it in the South than anywhere else. So he might have definitely had experienced that. And I was reading how he said when he met Tina, Beyonce's mother, he actually thought she was a white woman. But when she was around him all the time, she was, displaying a lot of her blackness and she wasn't acting like no white woman. But yeah, so in his case, I think he may actually be telling the truth because there's a lot of Southerners like that, especially where he comes from down there in Louisiana. Yeah, it really is. I think it's even worse in the South. And it's not hard to believe because that's where, the biggest part of chattel slavery took place down there. And, most, just about damn near all them black people down there are direct descendants of those slaves. Yeah, it really is bad. So, when her father said that, I really believe him. I really believe him, especially, just based on where he's from. I believe he probably did have a mother that was like that. You'd be shocked at how many old, especially older men and women down there, they do say stuff like that. Don't bring no man too dark up in here. Don't bring no dark woman up in here. They do say stuff like that down there. Yeah, Vanguard, that's the same in my case. My dad was a dark-skinned man and my mother was light. She was a light-skinned woman. She was still black. When it rained, her hair drawed right on up. She was definitely black. Yeah, colorism, like I said, is a big thing in the South, and that's where her father's from. He's from the South, so it's not too far fetched. Thank you, Anne. It's not too far fetched to believe, in his case, and he's right. In his case, that his mom probably did tell him, "Don't you bring no dark women up in here." Probably did. And look, and don't I wouldn't even be surprised if his mother was a dark woman and she still said that kind of crap to him. That's how psychologically crazy many of those folks are. Yeah, Tina's black. Tina is black. I saw a picture of her and you could definitely see, and even in her hair, it was a younger picture of her that I saw years ago. And that woman definitely had the hair of a black woman. Now, Tina is just one of them high yellow Negroes, but she is black. She's what they call down in Louisiana Creole. That's what she is. She's Creole. And many of you people from Louisiana and down in the South, y'all know exactly what I mean. Mm-hmm. And Creoles are not just high yellow people, y'all. Some of them dark people down there are Creole too. You don't have to be high yellow to be Creole. Dark-skinned people are Creole. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, they do. Down in the South, they're crazy like that. I do know that, because um both my grandparents on my mom and dad's side were from Georgia. That's how I know they are crazy with the colorism in the South. They are crazy with that shit. Yes. Yeah, yeah, Creole, the language is a blend of French. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it is, even in the islands. But you know what? Let's face it, any place where chattel slavery took place, there's colorism issues. Definitely. Yeah, that's true. I've met some jet black Cubans and they just knew they were not black. They just knew they weren't black. And then one time I met a Cuban woman that I was actually friends with, and she was a doctor. She was just as, if she sat with us, she would have blended right in. She had the wool hair, dark skin. She was from Cuba, and she was down. She was probably one of the few Cubans that I met, and she was really, she knew what her blackness was. She really did. It's like a needle in a haystack, but there are some that do exist. And she was like that, but she was down with her blackness. She knew, she was black and she didn't deny it. But then I have met some and they were blacker than the streets and will look you in the face and tell you they're not black. They will look you dead in the face and deny they're black. So colorism is bad anywhere this European has been. Anywhere they've been, it's a colorism problem. Hey, Jack Johnson. Yeah, I noticed it in the beginning. Cruz. Well, yeah, he's all white. He is. He's a 100% white boy. Nicholas Cruz. Yeah, we're not many people. They're not confused about what they are. Even with what people deem as a Spanish last name, we're not all brainwashed. There's a lot of us that are not brainwashed. brainwashed at all. We know who the hell we are. Yeah, I was reading an article just a few days ago, and they said the skin bleaching got even worse in Africa. It just kills me on that continent that people are bleaching the hell out of their skin. They said it has actually gotten worse in Africa with the skin bleaching. That's disgusting just for me to hear. That is that's a damn shame. I just hate hearing that. Yeah, maybe not so much in your family, but the colorism is there because, Jamaica's another place where there's so many people bleaching their skin. It just seems like wherever there is a lot of dark people, there's a lot of people bleaching their skin now. But yeah, and when I saw that article, it just made my stomach turn. It said that it's worse than ever before, all of the skin bleaching going on in Africa. And that's what colonization has done. The colonizers have brainwashed the people into believing that their skin is better than the people with melanated skin. But once you wake up and know the truth, they can't pull that crap off anymore. And the funny part is when they know you got the better skin, they don't even come around you anymore trying to tell you, oh no, it's good to be white. They don't come around you to do that mess. I whenever I do those sunburn videos, they just thumbs it down and keep going, but they don't come on there and challenge the melanated people. They keep right on going because they know what the truth is. Despite the fact that they're trying to tell you all their whiteness is so great, they know what the real truth is. Hi, Jerome Davis. Yeah, well, there's no BIE. They made all that mess up. And just look at the timing of the BIE. That came out right after the Stephen Paddock shooting in Las Vegas. Like I said, every time there is a mass shooting, they find some kind of way to come to the Black community to get some shit started. Black on Black crime, BIE. Chicago, they do it. It's like clockwork. After every single shooting, they bring up all this black on this and black people are violent and all that, which we know is not true. They're lying about the whole thing. How can crime be going down in the black community and black people be the most violent? If you really sit back and analyze a lot of things that they're saying, it doesn't make any damn sense. How can we be on one hand the most violent people and then on the other hand crime is dropping in the black neighborhood? I mean, come on. The sunburn videos. Hey, look, spring and summer's coming. I should be able to do a lot more of those. We know how they scorch up here. Oh no, see, Iapo, they never forgive But they always do that to us. Oh, do you forgive? And I'll be damned if you can find a black person that sit there and say yes. It just makes my stomach turn with all that I forgive you stuff. Oh, get out of here, please. Yeah, cosmic light, all of that skin bleaching is it's you can't reverse it once they strip out the melanin from their skin. That shit can't be reversed. The only thing they get from that point on is damage from the sun. And there are pictures, like if you go to Google, um, skin bleaching, damage skin, and just look at the pictures. Those women look like monsters now from all the damage they're getting from the sun. And that's a curse from the Most High. He gave you the most precious gift you could possibly have, and that's your melanin. And when you strip that out, you're letting him know you don't want one of the most priceless things that he gave to you. You don't want it. So their curses now, they're walking around looking like monsters. Yeah. It's so bad in Africa. They said if you want to become rich, um, sell some bleach cream in Africa. You'll become rich really fast. You want to become wealthy? Sell bleach cream to Africans. you, you'll probably be wealthy before the year is out. Yeah, Sammy Sosa looks so abnormal to me, it's not even funny. Should have kept his black, right, Loretta? You don't complain about your black, Loretta. Ooh, Loretta. Yeah, yeah. You would think Africa would be one of those last places where skin bleaching would take place, but they done got to all of our people around the globe, it seems like. Loretta is actually black and white, but she's definitely more black than white. Right, Loretta? Hey, Loretta. Hey, hey, girl. Ain't seen you all day. Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can get rid of scars. And not only that, you don't need no bleach cream to do that. You can use, do you know lemon also gives you that same effect? Lemon. And like you said, you can use a sugar scrub on your scar. It will flatten it out and everything, and eventually it'll go away. I just don't understand why bleach cream has to be the solution when there's so many other products that you can use. Yeah, I don't know. I just say it's so much poisoning. They just go to show you white supremacy has done a lot of damage on this earth. Anytime the melanated people look at them and think what they have is better than what you have, and it's not. I mean, they age very poorly. Their skin, the sun already showed you the sun don't like them. And there's no, and I agree. There's no advantage to being them at all. I'm going to have to get all my sunshine music out and start playing it loud in my car. Well, yeah, I mean, their skin is horrible and it sags. If they lose weight, their skin sags. They got all that loose skin. It's just it's not good skin. I don't know why anybody would want it. But they own the media, so they get to put out all this propaganda and a bunch of lies about themselves being so great, and it's not so great at all. Yeah, there's no. When I look at them, I just don't see what's so great about being white. I don't get it. Physically, I don't get it. When I look at them, I don't see any greatness when I look at them. I don't see it. I'm sorry, but I don't. When I look at them, to me, most of them look frumpy. They're frumpy looking. But I don't look at them and go, wow, I wish I had that skin. I never look at them like that. They don't attract me in that kind of way. Right, Loretta. When's the last time you looked at a white male cat? That's right, never. Oh boy. You know what I think about the Fergie's thing when I watched her sing? I think, I think white supremacy makes them believe any damn thing they do is acceptable and good enough. So, it don't matter if I half sing a song. I'm white. I'm a white female. Y'all just love anything that comes out of my mouth. And I think she's actually shocked. I was reading how she was apologizing for her performance. But, they think the white card is going to just get them anything they want and nobody's going to ever complain about them. And she said she was just trying to try something new. I said, I don't care. It's a crappy ass song anyway. She can try something new every time she sing it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. A bad singer sung a bad song. There you go. That's okay, Loretta. We don't do flags. we don't we don't do flags and satanic songs about killing people in war and killing slaves. No, but that just go to show you how in those music studios, how they build up those voices, and it's really not their natural voice that you're hearing on many of those songs that they're singing. It's not their natural voice at all. When you see them sing in person, they don't sound nothing like, they almost sound ordinary, and you wonder how they even have a singing career. Nefertiti. Well, Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, and they should have stuck with the black girl, as far as I'm concerned. They could have picked anybody better than Fergie. She sounded hot. I think, and when you watch her um do the national anthem after she was done, she really thought she did great. You can just see the look on her face like, I wowed the crowd. I think when they all came back and slammed her for the way she sung it, I think that really took her by surprise. In her mind, it wasn't really that bad. And you could tell when she was standing there, she was just confident that she sung that song really well. I really think it really shocked her when people didn't like the way she sung that song. Now, I think she just forgot that there were um nothing there to build up her voice like it does in the music studio. She thought, okay, well, they'll just build my voice up and I'll sound good. Yeah, Whitney did tear up that horrendous song. I don't think anybody to this day has topped her in singing the national anthem. And I think a lot of times many of the singers try to top Whitney, but they just can't. Yeah, yeah, they do. You can tell she does the same thing that many of these caucasoid singers do. They try to sound like black people. And in many cases, they fall flat. But I'm sorry, you don't sound better than the real thing. I know they try to claim they do, but they really seriously, they don't. Hi, Sharon. No, there's no replacing the original. There's just none. They're not much of a replacement, that's for sure. Oh, and Francis Scott Key was, yeah, he was a devil. He absolutely hated black people to the core. He hated black people. That's why I will never, when I started reading the history on Francis Scott Key and what kind of person he was, ain't a damn chance in hell or high water I'm standing up to sing that bitch ass song. I'm sorry, I'm not. Oh, yeah, yeah. When Whitney sung that, and actually, I remember when she sung the national anthem. The very next day, they played the hell out of her version of that song all across radio stations in America. And I remember they were like, did you hear Whitney? Oh my God, did you hear her sing? People were just falling over themselves playing that song the next day after the game. That's how you knew it was good. And I'm not going to deny it. I mean, I hate the song, but she did. She gave that song life like no other have ever sung it. To me, it's a dead sounding song. But Whitney was the only one that could bring that song to life. Every time I remember being in school singing that song, to me, it's a dead flat sounding song, in my opinion. Maybe I'm alone in that, but it's a dead sounding song. You can tell someone that was non-black wrote that shit. You can tell. Yeah, you're right, Anne is a piece of shit slave song. She managed to give the song some life support. Hmm. Yeah, Marvin Gaye. You can actually pull up on YouTube Marvin Gaye's version of the national anthem. But you notice the best versions of that song were black people. So I mean, which I'm not surprised. But yeah, it's almost like every singer is trying to get to the Whitney Houston level and they just can't do it. They can't get to her level. Well, yeah, Jerome Davis, the reason why they cry so much about guns is because without the gun, they know their stay at the top is over. They will not, they can't survive in this world without it. That's why they're the only group always hooping and hollering about a gun, because that is how they rose to the top. The only reason why they rose to the top was because of the gun. Without the gun, they would not have been able to do nothing. None of the things they have done in history, they would not have been able to do it. The gun is what got them to where they are today. And remember, the Most High said they were going to rule, by the sword. And their sword is the modern day gun. That's why without the gun, they don't even feel like real men. Their whole manhood is tied up in that gun. And that's a damn shame. you know? But you can really see all the stupidity that have come from them over the years. Now, I was watching when I was watching the Olympics and sitting there laughing my ass off at it, that sport curling came from them. That's when they pushed the rock across the ice rink, and then somebody is in front of the rock scraping back and forth with a broom. I don't see how that even qualifies as a sport. It is so goddamn dumb to even watch. It's not even funny. What they call it, curling. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I know that shit came from them. That could not have possibly came from our forefathers. Well, yeah, that seriously, that just take notice. There are no other groups in America screaming over a gun but them. They're the only ones always hooping and hollering about a gun. The only reason is because they know without that gun at hand, they will lose everything. And it's the truth, they will. I mean, come on, let's face it, every group in this place could beat their ass without that gun, and it's the truth. We would be beating their asses in the damn streets if they didn't have the gun. Now, don't lie. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. We would be out there beating them to a pulp. In fact, we'd be making a sport out of kicking their ass. It would be, it's the truth. If they did not have access to gun, you ain't, come on, don't lie. We all be in the streets kicking they ass right now. Hey, did y'all ever read the quote from Miles Davis? Hold on, let me pull up that quote. I'm gonna pull up that quote. Let me see. Here it is, Miles Davis. Here it is. Woo! I got to show this to you. Some of y'all probably know this already. Let me see here. Let me see if I can share my screen. The Miles Davis quote. Miles Davis said, if somebody told me I only had an hour to live, I'd spend it choking a white man. I'd do it nice and slow. Miles Davis. Woo! Miles Davis. Now, he used to be married to Cicely Tyson. This is Cicely Tyson's ex. Woo! I love that quote. Trust me, they know everybody on this damn earth would be coming for them. They better keep that gun very close. Keep it very close. But remember, the Most High said it's going to come to a time where he's going to render those weapons useless. They won't have access to it. He's going to make all them guns useless one day. Yeah, he did. You're right, Mr. Lawrence. He sure did. Miles Davis came up in the Jim Crow era. Yes, he did. You know, Miles Davis had drug problems and stuff. You know, I ain't gonna lie. The man was not perfect, but none of us are. But that's one thing he was square on. He did not trust them. He didn't trust no white man. He didn't trust no white man. You choked a white man at work and it felt good. Here you go, Queen, true royal. I mean, they know that gun get out of their range, it's over for them. Yeah, that was Cicely Tyson's ex-husband right there, Miles Davis. Those two were married at one point in time. Oh no, Ayapo, I know what you mean. You know, I'll take a look at that video, but I know, believe me, I know. I mean, just look at the shape of the gun. Look at the shape of the gun. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is look at the shape of that gun, and that tells you right there as an extension of who they are. I need to put that Miles Davis quote on my as my background paper on my computer. That's what I need on my computer. Get that picture of Miles Davis in that quote. That'll be my wallpaper. That's what that should be, my wallpaper. And we always wonder, how is the Most High going to get them guns away? Believe me, he ain't going to fail us on this one. He said he's going to render those weapons useless. It's going to come a time when they will not be able to reach for a gun. Now, how he does it, we'll just have to wait and see, but it's definitely coming. Who knows? He could bomb out the place just like they've gone around the world dropping bombs. You drop a bomb on somebody, you sure ain't gonna have no gun. In fact, at that point, it don't even matter if you even got the gun in your hand if somebody drop a damn bomb on you. And remember, it's going to be, he said, it's going to be things we never seen before, y'all. The Most High said there's going to be so many dead bodies in the street. When he started taking these people out, it's going to be so many dead bodies in the street. We're going to have to walk and drive around all the dead bodies. That's how many it's going to be in the streets. And we're going to see things we never, ever seen before on this earth. So it's going to be one interesting thing. And just know we are that generation, y'all. We are the generation that the Most High is talking about in the Bible. We are that generation. We're that last generation. It's us. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they can hardly keep up with the opioid deaths. I mean, look, all of their medical examiner offices are talking about overtime and how many bodies they have to autopsy and how long it takes, getting a toxicology report, and it takes them forever now, and they're overwhelmed. Yes, it is. It's an incredible time to be alive. Remember, Most High said that this is the generation that won't die. So we're going to be living through this whole thing, watching the whole thing play out. And remember, when we leave out of here, he said we're going to be as rich as a nation. You know how much wealth that is? We're going to be as rich as a nation. Yeah, they call that the Ring of Fire. All of the volcanoes going off, the Ring of Fire is what they call that. Oh no, Tara, the people that go down in the bunkers, they're going to actually die first. They're gonna get killed off first. That's really their grave. Those bunkers, that's their grave. They're going down into their grave. That's what they're doing. Yeah, yes, Jim Crow. Oh, believe me, when I go back, I wasn't alive, but when I go back in the history and read about all that stuff, but Um, all of my family in the South, they lived through Jim Crow and they told me what it was like. It was bad down there. The lynchings, and I remember we would go down south and my grandmother would hide the newspaper from my brother and I because she didn't want us to be traumatized by the pictures. And see, it wasn't just lynching in the South. A big thing they used to also do in the South was tar and feather our people. A lot of our people died from tar and feathering too. And they would leave the bodies standing in the street and put hang signs on the dead bodies after they were tarred and feathered. It was disgusting. They did a lot of disgusting things. Yeah, yeah, they used to tar and feather a lot down there. It was disgusting. And like I said, the bodies would be standing in place and they would come and put stupid signs around them and all this stuff. It was terrible. Nobody's going to forget all of that stuff. These people got hell to pay. They seriously do. They got hell to pay. And remember, the Most High is going to make them stay alive too. The Bible verse where it says they're going to wish for death and it won't come. It's going to get so bad for them, they're going to wish to die. And he's not going to let them die. He's going to make them stay alive and go through the hell. But, these people got hell to pay. Yeah, well, see, we won't. When it gets to that point, we're not going to be under their law anymore. We're going to be under the law of the Most High, and He believes in justice. you know, not this joke that they call justice, real justice. I don't know. Well, that's the thing. They lack in compassion, Kathy, because it does make a difference if you have animal DNA. Then you're going to conduct yourself and act like an animal. It does make a difference on how you act. You're a full human and somebody that's a hybrid are not going to act the same. And that's the biggest reason why we really technically have nothing in common with them. They're hybrids. We're real human. We're not the same. We don't have nothing in common. That's why we're so opposite from each other. You can't beg an animal for human rights. And that's what our people are doing. You're literally begging an animal, a hybrid animal, to give you human rights, and they have no connection with even being human. Yeah, well, look, their own scientists say the Neanderthal was it was a primate. That's what they're saying. The Neanderthal was a primate. It was Darwin. That's who it is. Their scientist, Darwin. Darwin said the Neanderthal was an ape-like creature. You can look this up. He said it. He said the Neanderthal was an ape-like creature. And of course, now they're trying to call him stupid, but he's really right. When you look at that evolution chart and you compare it to what Darwin said, he's right. He said the Neanderthal was an ape-like creature. And then when you look at that evolution chart, what did they start out as? An ape. He didn't say anything that wasn't true. There is no, you should never hate yourself, especially if it has anything in regards to them. It's them that don't measure up. It's not us. We measure up. They don't. In all honesty, to be honest with you, I don't want their compassion. I don't want it. It's been so many years that we never had it. I don't give a damn about their compassion. I don't care about it. They don't have to ever give it to me. I don't care. Well, first of all, just look at Genesis, okay? When the Most High made Adam, he didn't go out and get no animal in order to make Adam. He didn't do it. He didn't have to do it. He knew the animals were something completely separate from man. He didn't go out and, oh, well, I'm going to make Adam, but let me go out here and get one of these chimps and I'll build Adam from there. He didn't do that. He didn't have to do it either. Do y'all know what Nag's Hammadi is? Do any of y'all know what the Nag's Hammadi is? No? All right, hold on. Let me see if I can see if I can. All right, let me see if I can share my screen for this one. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see. All right. This is the Nag Hammadi. There are actually scriptures in this. At the time when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they also found these scrolls, which were additional scriptures. So what they did was when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they, announced that to the world that they found it. But when they found the scrolls for Nag Hammadi, they did not make a big announcement about this. But this book has been out for a long time. They found these manuscripts that are in Nag Hammadi back in 1945. And what they did was they translated it and put it in this book. And it has things like the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Judas. All of that is in here. So it will be scriptures that you never seen before. Now, you may be asking, why am I showing you this? It also goes over in full detail of how Adam was built. And it gives details that you will not find in the Bible, but you will find it in Nag Hammadi. And it goes over in full detail how the Most High put Adam together. And when you read it, it will blow you away of how much was put into putting Adam together. It will absolutely blow you away. Yeah. And it's in there. And when you read it, you'll be shocked at how Adam was put together, but it goes over full details of how it was done. And it's something beyond what you can even imagine. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing that blew me away when I read that. I first read the Nag Hammadi back in 2011. You always read, it kind of fills in the gaps of the Bible that you may not understand. But then when you pick up the Nag Hammadi, it goes over a lot of things that's not in the Bible. And when I got to the part where he put Adam together, and I saw in the Nag Hammadi, this is the thing that will blow you away. When the Most High put Adam together, he used angels, and believe it or not, he also used demons. He used angels and demons to put Adam together. And it tells you what part, and it goes over everything. Which one put in the left lung? Which angel put in the right lung of Adam? Which one put Adam's heart in? Which one put Adam's brain in? It goes over everything in full detail. And when I saw that, I almost fell over reading that. In fact, when I read it, I went back and read it 3 times because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But it goes over everything. Which angel put Adam's thigh together? Which angel came and put his right leg together? Which angel gave Adam his stomach? Which one put his back on? It goes over everything. Everything, y'all. And it's very detailed. Even, Adam's conscience, which angel or what part he made the demons do. He fully controlled the whole thing through the angels and the demons and putting Adam together. And when you read it, it will just blow you away. It blew me away. I couldn't believe it when I read that. But like I said, it'll give you detail that you will never see in the Bible. But yes, the Nag Hammadi scriptures, it is scriptures when you read it. And the stories are just, it shows you how merciful our Father is there's a story in there. I'm not going to give too much away because you really have to read it. There's a story in there where a daughter wanted to go into the world. He didn't want her to go into the world. He wanted her to stay with him in the heavens and spend more time with him and grow a little more. But she insisted on coming into the real world. Well, he allowed it. He was like, okay, go into the real world. She got passed around and the men made her into a whore. She was just going from man to man, house to house, and these men were making a whore out of her. She finally went back to the Heavenly Father. Now, this shows you how merciful he really is. Despite the fact that she got passed around like a hoe, do you know he took her back, cleansed her, and made her whole, made her spirit and everything pure again. And he loved her from that point on. And not only did he love her, not only did he forgive her and love her, he gave her a beautiful man to marry and a family. So when you think, oh, I've done so many bad things in my life, my Heavenly Father, well, he won't forgive me. Yes, he will. That story told me he is beyond merciful with us. He is beyond merciful with us. You know, anytime you can do that and the Father just embrace you and take you back and not be mad or judge you and never bring that up again, but not only take you back, but give you such a beautiful life, marriage and everything. And I love how it goes over marriage too. It'll say like the woman goes to the bridal chamber and waits for her husband, you know, and things were, you know, marriage was done very different back then. You know, this ceremony and all this is just very Europeanized, and it's very far from what our people did. We did things and it was very natural. You got married, you right after, and they give you a ceremony and everything, but after the ceremony, you and your husband go alone into a location and you have sex, and then you come back out and be with the family. That's how it was done. But now, you know, everything is so Europeanized, we don't know what the real Hebrew marriage ceremony was like. It was nothing like it is now. And there's also stories in there that told you what happened just before the marriage. It was not unusual for many of the women to be pregnant, you know, before they were married. That was really one of those things that was a natural occurrence too. And it was, you know, that was not viewed as a terrible thing, like, yo, you're out of wedlock. And it wasn't like that because the men always went through and married the women, you know, so nobody was left out here as a single mom. You know, so it was very different. Our way of life, it was very different from what you see now. It was very different. Very, very different. And it also talks about how the bedroom is a very sacred place for the husband and wife. You don't have nobody in your bedroom. The only one in your bedroom is you and your husband, and that's it. You know, and nothing was discussed beyond that bedroom between, you know, what happened in the bedroom with the husband and wife. That's how it was treated back among our ancestors. Yes. You know, now everybody will tell all about what they did in the bedroom with somebody, and or they'll go online and talk about that. No, that was unheard of for our people to do that. You don't, whatever you did in the bedroom, it stayed in the bedroom. Now, all of the stuff that you see now, it's very much like Sodom and Gomorrah. You tell everything that somebody did to you in the bedroom. You know, you didn't do stuff like that back then. Yeah, it was very different. Very different. There was a lot of very deep loyalty between the husband and wife when you start reading about what the marriages were like. It was a lot of devotion between the husband and wife. Mhm. That was actually part of the ceremony, Otera. You got married, you had the family came together for the marriage of the couple, and right after, you were married, they went off and had sex and came back, and you went on with the celebration, and that's the way it was done. Yeah, well, porn and all that, that's the white man's creation. That that was never how we did not have sex in front of people. Like I said, the bedroom, to the most high, that's a sacred place for the husband and wife. you know well, yeah, I mean, come on, you can't go by anything these devils have showed us. Everything they do is completely contrary to what the most high says is the proper thing to do. And not only that, a husband had to treat his wife a certain way. It was not unusual for the most high to punish a man for mistreating his wife. If he mistreat his wife, he got dealt with. He got dealt with. If he did anything wrong to her, he got dealt with. They didn't play that mess. See, a lot of things that you see now, these men would have been put to death over that. Like a man being a wife beater, his ass would have been put to death. He didn't play that mess. And just like the women cheating on their husband, he didn't play that shit. Those women got put to death. That was taken seriously. There was punishment for mistreating your spouse from the Most High. He didn't play that mess. So a lot of things that you see today would never have been tolerated back then. I mean, even a woman complaining that she got mistreated, that man got dealt with for that mess. Yeah, what the white man did? He just came along and perverted everything. Coming out with the porn and all this mess online, couples having sex from their bedroom online and putting it on the internet. He perverted everything. He made things like that an abomination. That's really what he did. We will. And one thing, Sharon, when you pick up the Bible and read, everybody knew what their role was. You did not have, yeah, you can get Nag Hammadi on PDF. Absolutely. You most certainly can. Um, he just perverted everything that was sacred, you know. And number two, he just took a lot of things and they really didn't know what to do. You know, white people got marriage from black people. They didn't even during the time of what's that? What's that dude? In fact, I'm going to be doing a slide on him somewhere down the line. Um, well, anyway, they didn't even know what marriage was until they came around us. You know, once they saw us, you know, our ancestors married, then all of a sudden the white man started getting married. But prior to that, they weren't even marrying. The white man wouldn't even marry his woman. He wouldn't even marry her until they saw us in marriage. Then that's when they jumped up and started getting married. No, it's not shocking. That's the way he should be. The true royal. That's the way he is supposed to be. And that's the way they were in the Bible. And not only that, Hebrew women were allowed to speak their mind. You know, you could speak your mind to your husband and he not get all upset. And that's the way it was. We didn't have, oh, you can't talk to your husband about that. No, it wasn't like that at all. You could talk and speak your mind, and he spoke his mind to you. And like I said, everybody knew what their role was. Nobody was confused about who they were. Men knew what their roles were. Women knew what their roles were. And there was no friction between the men and the women like it is today. You know, life was very different back then. Everybody knew what their role was, you know. And you also have to know we didn't date. That was another thing that's a very white concept too. We didn't date. When we found spouses for ourselves, a lot of times your father would give the daughter to a perfect suitor for her, you know, for his daughter. There was no dating back then. Just read how our forefathers got married. A lot of times they would be visiting someone and they would have a daughter and they were like, I want to be your daughter's husband. Can I, and the interaction would go between the man and the father. And then next thing the daughter, they would get married. Your father picked your suitor. That was another thing that was very customary. We didn't go through all this dating and breaking up and all that stuff. All of that didn't exist. It does now because we're in this upside down world. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, even look at Jacob and Rachel and Leah. And remember, Jacob approached the father and said, I want Rachel to be my wife. That's how it was done. That's how it was done. And by the way, fathers didn't always say yes. There were many fathers, if they didn't feel that man was good enough for his daughter, they would say no. No. Just because a man, likes you and he approached the father doesn't always necessarily say yes. He had the choice of saying, yes, that's a good suitor for my daughter, or no. But no, there was no, and in our ancestors' time, there was no dating. Mm-hmm. Your father's not going to pick, back then, a father ain't going to pick no man that's going to beat your ass and all that stuff. He ain't not going to pick nobody like that for you. Yeah, we're going to go back to our tradition. We're going to go back. All the things that were taken away from us, that's all coming back. Yeah, but you know what, Sharon? We didn't have, let me explain something to you. I used to believe that too. Our women had children all the time. There were big Hebrew families. We didn't get our periods every single month until we came around these Caucasoids. That's when we started menstruating every month. Back during biblical times, we only had our periods 2, maybe 3 times a year, and we still gave birth and had large families. We did not start getting a monthly cycle until we started coming around these Caucasoids through chattel slavery. Prior to chattel slavery, we were only getting our periods maybe 2, 3 times a year. That was it. So you didn't really have to be away from your families that much. We didn't have to be away from our families. The only time you had to leave the house and get away from our family is when you were menstruating. Other than that, you were with your family. But being around this Caucasoid has caused us to have a monthly cycle, but we never, ever had a monthly cycle prior to that. Yeah, no, we didn't menstruate every month. No, that didn't come about until chattel slavery, y'all. Prior to that, we did not menstruate all the time. And we still never had no issue with getting pregnant and having babies, despite the fact that we were only having a menstrual cycle a few times a year. No, we were never supposed to be menstruating every month. See, that is part of us being under this curse. That's part of us being under the curse, is having this monthly cycle. But prior to that, no, we did not have monthly cycles. We never had that. Exactly, Mr. Lawrence. And being around them threw everything off. But no, we do not come from a people that had a menstrual cycle every month. That comes from being around these demons. I'm tried up. Queen, you're crazy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's part of what we're enduring now. Remember, even giving birth was no pain, until, Adam and Eve's time. We weren't even supposed to give birth and feel pain. I mean, everything has changed. Even the way we give birth. When we gave birth, it actually, the African women still give birth the way we should have been giving birth all along. All they do is they get in a squatting position and they push the baby out. That's the way it was supposed to be done. But now we go to the hospital, get in stirrups and all that stuff. We weren't supposed to give birth like that. Yeah. 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 And you can really see what it was like if you ever go back and watch the original route, um, where all of the young men go in a group and the older, more experienced men talk about marriage to them. In fact, our men were required to do that. So they would teach them, what to do with their wives, what to do for their wives, how to treat their wives. Our men actually gathered together. The men that were already married and experienced in marriage would guide the younger men so they would know what to do in marriage. In fact, when you read the Bible, there were times when sometimes the man was going to leave his wife and the father forbid it. He was like, oh my God, I don't know about her. I think I might leave. And the father was like, you're not leaving that woman. Go back home. You're not leaving your wife. The father would not approve it. And he would have to go back home to his wife and work it all out. So, going to an elder, that was a very important thing. But yeah, I mean, the man just couldn't up and leave. And I'm trying to think of that one story. I think it was the story of Melchizedek. Anyway, when he was born, he came out, what they said looked like, he came out looking like the angels. And when he came out of his mother's womb, and this go to show you, many of our kids spoke at birth. When he came out, he actually sat up and started talking right out of his mother's womb. Okay. His father ran out the house and said he couldn't believe, he didn't think that was his kid. And it just freaked him out that this kid came out of the mother's womb speaking. So his father was like, it's okay. Go back to your wife. She didn't cheat on you. Go back to your wife. So he went back. But that's how it was. Like I said, that man could not just up and leave. His father would, in many cases, forbid him to leave his wife. It was not allowed. That's why I'm saying, when this Gentile world dies, we're going to get back to our traditional things again. We're going to get back to what's traditional to us. Mm-hmm. My grandmother on my mom's side had her first at 16 and had her last child at 38. I told her that's too many years to be pregnant. She had 10. She had her first at 16 and her last one at 38. I said, that's too many years of being pregnant. I couldn't do it. No. In fact, these women, these side chicks, they would have been killed, honey. Every last one of these women walking around talking about they're the side chick, their asses would have been put to death. They wouldn't have been no side chick anywhere because they would have been put to death. Yeah. I don't know. I know that this life has gotten us all messed up, but we got to just keep our heads up and keep moving and know that this is not going to last forever. You got to find a queen. You will. Yeah, S-Mac. I love my grandma, but I told her that was too much pregnant for me. All the babies. And what was worse, my grandmother had 8 girls and 2 boys. 8 girls and 2 boys. And I said, oh my God, how did you get up in the morning and comb all them heads? She said, oh, my sister used to come down the street and help me. She would do some of the girls' hair, and then my aunt would do some. I was like, I couldn't get up every day and do 8 heads. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the way it was. And my great grandmother on my dad's side was a midwife. She and one other black woman, they were the only 2 midwives in the entire town. So they delivered all of the elders that are there now were delivered by my great grandmother. All of them were. And they remember her too. I sure don't remember her, but they do. And she was charging them $5. That's what I had. She had her little handwritten book, pages falling all out of it, but she would write down the baby they had, the weight of the baby, the name of the baby, and right next to it, she would charge them $5 for delivering their baby as a midwife. My mother, how old was she when she passed away? My mother died, actually, she died a lot younger than she should have. She was still in her 60s. She was in her early 60s when she passed. Yeah, back then it was a lot of money, but that's how much she charged. And they didn't all pay her though. I mean, some of them would give her $1 here and there, but they didn't all pay. You know, they couldn't be. A lot of black people back then were sharecropping and everything. They didn't have no money to pay for all them babies. So she knew it. Yeah, it's hard. It was hard. I actually lost my parents back to back. My mother died 2 years after my father, so I lost them back to back. That kind of hurt. It hurt me for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, both of my parents were from the South. Both of them. My great grandmother was a midwife in Irwin County, Georgia. Yeah, yeah. See, your parents died. Yeah, yours died pretty young too, True Royal. That's really not that old. Not in today, standards. That's really not that old. My grandmother on my dad's side had 9, and my grandmother on my mom's side had 10. Oh, it's okay, SMAC. It's been quite a few years now. It was hard the first, I would say, like the first 2 years after I lost my mother. It was hard. It was really hard. I was still crying, but it's been quite a few years now. I mean, I still think about her, but it's not quite as painful as it used to be. It was very painful for me for at one point in time. It really was very painful, but I'm okay now. Hmm. Both of my grandmothers made it into their 90s on both my mother and my father's side. They both made it into their 90s. And see, that's the thing. In my family, the women have longevity. They really do. I mean, it's almost like on both sides, the women just live. They got full lives. They really hang in there. Hmm. Yeah, that happens. Actually, my grandmother on my dad's side and my father both died the same year. My grandmother on my dad's side died in the spring, and then that summer my father passed on. So I lost both of them in the same year. Both of my parents were from Georgia, and they got married and then moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and that's where I spent most of my childhood, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we moved to New Jersey. So that's how I ended up in New Jersey. 25. Yeah, there was a woman that lived not far from me. She had 24 kids. It was a black woman. She had 24 children. I couldn't do that, but she had 24 kids. Yeah, yeah. I grew up in Philly, Southwest Philadelphia, right off of Baltimore Avenue and Christian Street and right around there. Yeah, my mother had heart disease. That's what took her out of here. Yeah, this black woman that lived not, I don't know if she even lives here now. I haven't seen her in quite a few years, but she had 24 kids. Yeah, yeah. Every now and then you will come across people that, yeah, grow your garden, Vanguard. You'll come across people like that. They have a lot of kids. In Chester, yeah, I know where Chester is. Chester, Pennsylvania. I know where that is. Okay, your father was killed. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. True Royal, my best friend and I, when I was growing up, she and I were like sisters. And every time my grandparents would come around, she would get a little sad. And I didn't understand why she would get that way. Come to find out, she was from Maryland originally, and then her family moved to New Jersey. Back in I think it was either she was a little older than me. I don't know if it was the 60s or 70s. The Ku Klux Klan snatched her grandparents out of their house and shot them both to death in the woods in Maryland. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That's what happened to her grandparents. And every now and then when mine were still alive and they would come around, she would actually get sad. And I could never understand why she would get sad. But that's what happened to her grandparents. The Klan snatched them out of the house one night. You know how they came up on black people, kicking the door in the middle of the night and all that bullshit. Well, they did that to her grandparents and took them out in the woods and shot them both in the head. And I never could understand. And then when she explained it to me, I almost, oh my God, what a terrible thing to have a parent murder, your grandparents murdered like that. And then absolutely nothing happens to the people that did it. And, it's terrible. Yeah, well, the Klan came after my grandfather on my dad's side, but they didn't get him. But they got my uncle instead. But they didn't get my grandfather. And see, that's the thing. That's what, see, white people don't understand why we feel the way that we do. Many of us have had experiences in our family or had family members that were mistreated or killed, and they just don't get why you might feel a certain way. Yeah. It's a shame all the things they have done and gotten away with. But I will never forget the day that she told me that. My heart sank. It really did. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, my mother told me when she was growing up in the South that my grandfather got into a car accident. A white man actually hit him. But because of the way things were in the South, they put the whole thing on my grandfather. And my grandfather didn't hit him at all. He actually slammed into my grandfather's car. But, it was Jim Crow, and they put all the blame for the accident on my grandfather. But, that's how evil they were. My grandmother did too. And you know what my grandmother told me? She got her first job cleaning for white folks down in the South, and she didn't like it. Um, and she said one day the man's wife and the children had went out shopping. So she was in the house cleaning and the man was trying to rape her. And after that, my grandmother left and she never went back to the house. She said she was able to get out of the house and leave. But he actually tried to rape her. And that's when she said she did not want to go back and clean houses again. And she went ahead and got her teaching certificate. And my grandmother became a school teacher. And that was 1931. She became a school teacher and she retired in the 1950s. But after that incident, she never went back to cleaning houses again. And said that white man did that shit a lot. That's why he liked having that black woman in the house cleaning, because he always seized the opportunity to try to, to rape the black woman that was cleaning the house and taking care of the family. Yeah. You know what my grandmother also told me? They had 4 children. The people that she cleaned house for, they had 4 children. They had 3 girls and 1 boy. My grandmother told me she would go over to clean the house and cook and everything, and the man's drawers, his drawers would be on the floor of the girl's bedroom. And she said at first she didn't think anything of it. And then after a while, she was like, oh my God, he's fucking his own daughters. His drawers would be on the floor in his daughter's bedroom. Okay. Of these white folks that she worked for. And she said that was another reason why she had to get the hell out of there. Yeah. Yeah. And she said, she said, I was only 16. I was naive. And at first, she would just pick the drawers up and just wash everything because she was doing their laundry and everything for them. But she said it started happening almost every week. She would go into the girl's room and his drawers would be on the goddamn floor of the girl's room. And I'm like, oh my God. And she said after a while, she knew exactly what was going on. Yeah, he was going in there having sex with his daughters. And don't think these white women don't know. They know. They know when their husbands are screwing their daughters. Okay, they know when it's going on. Don't think for one moment they're so naive that they don't know what's happening. In many cases, they do know it's happening. Yeah, yeah, True Royal. Yeah, sometimes that's you do what you got to do to defend yourself. But yeah, 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 incest among them is definitely real. It's real, y'all. It is real. But yeah, I will never forget her telling me that. And she's like, "Yeah, his drawers would be just in the middle of the girl room, you know." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she said immediately she didn't catch on to it, but after a while she was like, "Why is the father's drawers always on the floor?" And he didn't even. So apparently he had sex with these girls and then just left his drawers on the floor and just walked on out of the room. So, he never picked up his damn drawers. He just left them right there on the floor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if birth can because my grandmother was, this was probably like the 30s, 40s, somewhere around there when she was real young. And yeah, that creeped me out when she told me that. That creeped me out. But yeah, that's what she said. That was another reason why she wanted to get the hell out of that house. She was like, he's fucking his own daughters. And she said they were little girls. They were probably at that time like elementary school age. They were not real old, older children. They were probably, she said, like elementary school age girls. Yeah. Yeah, they're disgusting. They'll sleep with anything. Oh yeah, they do. They do. I mean, I'll never forget my grandmother telling me about that, and I knew. Yeah, they do a lot of incest with their daughters. No, his. Well, what do you want me to say? He left his panties on the floor. You want me to say that, S Mac? He left his panties on the floor in his daughter's room. Yeah, Jamal Bay. Yeah, your parents were young too. Yeah, I mean they think nothing of sleeping with their daughters. I was mm. Believe me, many of our women that worked in those white folks' homes in the South, believe me, they saw a lot of creepy ass shit in those homes. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not even trying to look at any of their. Yeah, yeah. And plus, especially with all the drugs that are going on out here, you definitely don't want to touch their asses now because many of these opioid addicts are running around here with HIV and hepatitis A. They're running around with all that shit now. Yeah, a lot of them get raped by their fathers, S Mac. Yeah, you hear the stories. You'll hear the story. Oh, my father raped us. Oh, he raped us. He raped. You hear about all that mess, especially from them. And not only that, another thing that happens in their household, like if the father beats on the mother, and a lot of these white women are getting their asses beat by their men. Okay. A lot of them are. They're just not talking about it. But usually that white man ain't just beating up his wife. He's beating up the whole goddamn family, his kids, the wife, all of them, you know? And that's a very common thing too, that you hear, beat the hell out of his wife. He's beating the hell out of the kids. He's beating every goddamn body up in the household. In fact, I went to school with a couple of white girls that told me their father would hit them with a clenched fist. I was like, okay, now my father would hit me, but he ain't hit me with no damn clenched fist. He didn't take things that far, but I used to went to school with a couple of white girls that told me that their fathers would hit them with a clenched fist. Yeah. So he ain't just, he's a Neanderthal to everybody. Like, no, my father ain't never ball his fist up and hit me like that. But these white girls would tell me that. I kid you not. These white girls would tell me that. And more than one. That's how their fathers would handle them. And I remember another one I went to school with when we were in high school. She had a busted eardrum. That's how hard her father hit her. He hit her so hard, she had a busted eardrum. And her father was one of them old fat, nasty looking truck drivers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them 18-wheeler, fat, nasty looking ass white men that drive them 18-wheelers. That's the kind of father she had. But you'd be shocked. You would be shocked the stories that a lot of them white kids would tell you, especially when it comes down to things going on in their household. You think it's bad in a black household? It's even worse in theirs. True Royal, my father hit me one time in my whole life. And that was the last time he ever hit me. Before that, any other time when I got in trouble, he would yell at me, and that was enough to make me cry. Just him yelling at me would make me cry. But he hit me one time when I was a little girl. He hit me, and then after that, he never hit me again. He would just yell at me, and like I said, when his anger towards me would hurt me so much, I would just start crying. I was the daddy little girl. I didn't like when my father was mad at me. If he was mad at me, that was enough to break my heart right there. And I would just start crying because my father was mad at me. Yeah, my dad told me that his mother did the same thing, made him go out and get a switch from the tree. ah, Yeah, it was a lot of abusive parents in the black neighborhood, even where I grew up in Philly. I saw it. Some parents were really good with their kids. I mean, don't always assume that because you're in the hood that everybody's a bad parent. I saw some very good parents in the hood, very good parents with their kids. And of course, you saw some that were just lousy parents. I mean, we see that all the time. I remember growing up on the street and, because where I came from, I came out of the hood and yeah, there were some parents that weren't worth shit. And then there were some mothers and fathers on the street that were excellent parents. They were really good with their kids. So I've seen it, I've seen it both ways. And that's another misconception that everybody have. They think if somebody is in the hood, then everybody's bad parents. That's not true. There are some really good parents in the hood. Very good parents. And in fact, I've seen parents in the hood do better by their kids than some of these Black parents in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. I hear you, True Royal. No, I'm from Southwest Philly, not South Philly. I know what you're talking about. I used to go down to South Philly all the time. I used to be down there where all them Italians are. You couldn't pay me to go around them damn people today, but I used to go down there back in the day. Now, I never got beaten in the shower, but my brother got one in the tub one day, and that was hilarious. My mother told him, I forgot what my mom told. My mom told him to get something done, and he didn't do it. And he just kind of ignored her and he went to take his bath. My mom waited until he got naked and in that bathtub, and she went in there with that belt and tore his ass up. She beat the brakes off of his butt in that bathroom. See, my mom was the type, she wasn't going to chase your ass around. Now, if she went to beat you and you ran away, she'll just lay low. And then when you're in a position where you can't run, that's when she would come in there and get your ass. How she was. She wasn't going to wear her ass out trying to run after you. She got my brother a couple of times. It was another time when he got in trouble. He went to bed, went to sleep, and my mom came in there and gave him a midnight special. Woo! He got a couple of midnight specials where she cornered his butt and he can run. Yeah, them wet beatings will tear your ass up. Yeah, my mom will let you lay in the bed, start dozing off like you going to sleep. And she come in there and give you one of them midnight special beatings. She wasn't about to chase you. So if you were the kind of person that ran, she didn't sweat it. You just keep right on running. She gonna get you when you're not running no more. I think the funniest was my cousin. Well, my aunt and uncle lived in Trenton, and they had 4 kids, and we were all around the same age. They're all probably a little older than me, but they had a New Year's Eve party downstairs. I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm gonna end the hangout. They were having a New Year's Eve party downstairs. So my aunt came up and told us, because all the kids were upstairs. So it was about 7 of us upstairs. And she was like, y'all better be quiet. The adults are downstairs having a party. Y'all better be quiet, right? And we kept making noise because we were playing charades upstairs. That's why we got so rowdy. We were playing charades. So anyway, we just started laughing because we were doing some crazy shit upstairs. And finally, my aunt came back and said, I'm not going to tell you any more times. You better keep all this noise down up here, right? So we got quiet for a while. Then, didn't we start getting all rowdy again? My uncle came upstairs with the belt. We all dove on top of each other on the bed. My cousin Roland was stuck on the top and he wore his ass out. We were cracking because he was the only one he could get. He tore his ass up. He was like, he was trying to get all of us, but he could only get one. He tore him up. Oh man, that was terrible. My poor cousin was traumatized after that. Poor thing was traumatized. Now, those were the days. You did something wrong, you got a good old sound and ass beaten, courtesy of your mom and dad. Oh, he took one for the team. He definitely took one for the team because my uncle was swinging and popping that belt. I was so far down on the pile, he couldn't get to me, but he was swinging and popping that belt. And you know when your parents get mad and you can hear the crack sound of the belt. Woo! That belt was cracking. All right, y'all. It was good gathering together once more. Yeah, Roland. And you know what? The sad part, S-Mac, he was the one that ended up on crack in my family. It was so sad, you know? He was the one, that was my cousin that ended up becoming a crack addict. And it was bad. He got thrown out several times. It was really bad. Yeah, my mom used to yell as she kicked your ass too, but is my cousin Roland still alive? Yes, Roland is still alive, but because he was on crack for so long, he has many health problems now, all related to his crack addiction. So, yes, he did survive, but he's not in good shape. He has a lot of health issues now. Well, it is what it is. I feel for him, but he was doing drugs for many years. I mean, probably more than 20 years he was doing crack. So you're not exactly going to come out with good health after doing it consistently for 20 years. But he's alive and, but not in the best of health, but he is still alive. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how we were disciplined back in the day. You know, that's just the way it was. Now these kids will damn near tell you they gonna call the cops on you and all that stuff. But you know, my son didn't do that to me, and I let my son know I will be disciplining you. And I told him, I said, you call the police on me after they leave, I'm gonna beat you even worse. So you better not try that one with me. And he never did. He never tried that. I'm gonna call the cop. But a lot of these kids do that shit. I used to live next door to a woman. Her daughter used to do that to her. You touch me, I'm calling the police. I was like, you let my son form his lips talking about he gonna call the police. I promise you, they will never be called again once I get done with you. Yeah, I mean, they got these kids emboldened telling their parents some shit like that. I'ma call the police. I said, you know, that's one thing my son never did. He ain't never formed his lips talking about he was gonna call the cops because I had to discipline him. I wish he would. I dare ya. Yeah, you know, you can't even parent the way you want to. He is now 16. Yeah, these kids are crazy. You know, and you know, they got taught that shit in school. They got taught that mess in school. Oh, well, if they hit you, you call the police. They got taught that mess in school by their white teachers. That's where that mess came from. Telling them there is not right to spank your kids and all that stuff. First of all, they had no business doing that. That's not your child. And they really had no business telling any black child no mess like that. A parent should be able to discipline the way they want. Yeah, you're right, Ayapo. The whole thing came from white people. Exactly. Exactly. And then they got our kids now coming home to you talking about, I'm going to call the police. I'm like, what? I remember when kids first start doing that. I remember that. Oh, you know what I did, Duma S? You know, the last time my son got in trouble, that's what I did. I took his Nintendo Wii. I took it. In fact, there's nothing. There's no internet, there's no TV, there's no phone, there's no video games, all of that's gone. Yeah, but you know, these cops are crazy. Your kid call the cops, them damn fools will come out and shoot you. You know, that's the last thing you want to do or have your kids doing, calling some damn police. Get the hell out of here. Oh yeah, I take it all. I rip everything out of there if I have to. I hear you, Iapo. No, I just used to tell mine, okay, you call them. But when they leave, I just want you to know you're going to get it even worse. You're going to get it even worse. Yeah, I won't do it. Yeah, yeah. Terrified of their. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of parents that are scared of their own kids. You know, I'm shocked to see that even in the black community. I've even noticed that where a few of these parents are scared of their own kids. I just can't picture that. I'm not, you know, I'm not scared of my son, and I can't picture myself being petrified of my own child. But I have seen that before. I have seen parents be afraid of their own kids, and it's a shame. Or every now and then, even around here, you'll pick up the paper and a son would beat up his father. I'm like, are you insane? And what breaks my heart is when it's a black kid that and you read, oh, I'm like, oh, how but yeah, sometimes it's really that bad. Hi, we're getting ready to leave. You're just coming. Oh, well, you can listen to this. I didn't either until just maybe S. Wiseman. I didn't either until like maybe over the last few recent years is when I started noticing it for the first time. But most of my life, I never noticed a lot of black parents scared of their kids. This is just pretty recent stuff. I'm like, you beat up your dad? Oh my God. Yeah. Well, they white people throw their parents away. That's why when you go into them nursing homes, you don't see nothing but a sea of white people in there because they throw their damn parents away. You're like, I have the right to live my life. You ain't gonna come in here and disrupt my life. Get your old ass in that nursing home. That's how they are. Yeah, I cared for both of my parents. I came and took care of both of them. I did not put them in a nursing home at all. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, very true. Yeah, yeah. I would do a slide on that, but man, it would take so many slides. You might be watching my slide for like 2 hours. It's just so much to tell that story about the building of Adam. But it's an incredible story. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely in favor of that Duma S. You take care of your elders. I'm all down with that. Exactly, S. Wiseman. It really is. Nursing home and daycare centers are products of the pink man system. It really is. It really is. Wow. All right, y'all. Please take care. And I still got to do my hangout with the patrons. So, I'll try to get that together later on in the week. But thank you for coming. I really love and appreciate our time together. And you all have a good night. Shalom, family.